Live from Grant's Farm, it's the 2024 Show of Strength. A telethon to benefit the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And here's your host, Mike Bush.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. Coming to you live from Grant's Farm on this Labor Day weekend. I'm Mike Bush, and I've been honored to be part of this amazing five-on-your-side tradition for nearly 4 decades now. Over the next couple of hours, we're on a mission to make a difference. You want to help? Easier than ever. Just text DONATE to 314-425-5355, or if you prefer, you can head to ksdk.com/donate. Every contribution counts, no matter how big or small. We're back at Grant's Farm, a place that holds a special place in our hearts. This venue has been instrumental in helping us raise millions to support those affected by muscular dystrophy, and it's great to be here again for this all-local telethon. Now, I'm not alone in this endeavor by any means. I've got an incredible team backing me up tonight, and you'll meet them all soon. But first, let's start with my 6 p.m. co-anchor, my co-host for this evening, my friend Ann Allred. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Mike. Thank you for inviting me. I am so happy to be back here. It's fantastic. We're all here for another year at Grant's Farm. We do have our work cut out for us tonight, but I know we're up for the challenge. We are every year. We've got 2 hours, 8 to 10 o'clock. We're aiming to raise as much as we can to support those living with muscular dystrophy. So every dollar counts towards finding cures and improving lives. Our partnership with MDA goes way back. But things have evolved, especially in recent years. As Mike mentioned, we have gone totally local with this telethon. Every dollar stays right here, focusing on our community. Now, we're all too aware of the tough times many face these days. But let's take a moment to consider those with muscular dystrophy. They are among the most vulnerable neighbors, and for them, even a common cold can be life-threatening. So you can imagine the fear of flu or even COVID brings. Let's kick things off with some real momentum. It's super easy to help. You can just text the word DONATE to 314-425-5355. You can also hop online, ksdk.com/donate. Every contribution, no matter the size, whatever you can give, we are so grateful, and it will make a real difference. We are ready to make some magic happen tonight, Mike.
We are, and it's time for you to meet yet another key player on our team. This guy's heart is as big as St. Louis itself, and he's always out there making our community a better place. When I reached out to him about joining our fight against muscular dystrophy a few years ago, he jumped in without a second thought. So let's give a warm welcome to someone you might recognize from your morning routine, straight from Today in St. Louis, the one and only Renie Knott. Take it away, Renie.
Thank you, Mike. It is a blessing to be here tonight at Grant's Farm to be a part of this. I will be manning the Star Wall. Right now, I don't have a lot of stars on my Star Wall. I want my Star Wall to be a galaxy within itself, because so many people will donate, so many people will give, that this Star Wall is going to light up. We have 3 different levels for our Star Wall. First of all, we have our blue level. That's a $100 donation. You do that, you get a blue star on the wall. I'll get to call your name out as well. If you give $250, you get a silver star. Anyone donating $500 and above, well, you get one of these gold stars, like Tegna Incorporated, like Weber Chevrolet did, as well as Burn Boot Camp. We want a lot of gold stars up there. And to give you an idea of how all this works, let's say you can't do more than $50. Call a friend. Maybe they've got 50. Go in together. We'll put both of your things up there with a blue star. Tonight is about MDA. But MDA is going to have a second meeting as well. It's going to be the Make a Difference Association. That's all of you out there. We're going to be a collective, one big team of giving as we make a difference tonight to take care of people in our area, St. Louis, who are dealing with neuromuscular diseases. We are here for them. Let's make it happen. Let's make a difference. Let's get this galaxy stars shining all night long. Mike, back to you.
Thanks, Renie. And this hour of the telethon is sponsored by Maryville University, one of the fastest growing universities in the country. Every year when I reach out to Maryville University President Dr. Mark Lombardi, he and his team come through for MDA. This year is no exception. Thanks to Dr. Lombardi and Maryville for their support of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Now, before we move on, I want to take a moment to explain why these diseases we are talking about tonight under the umbrella term muscular dystrophy are so challenging. And keep in mind, these are conditions that impact real people, our neighbors, friends, and family members in profound ways. Neuromuscular diseases collectively impact over 300,000 people across the country. These include a group of rare conditions that affect some part of the neuromuscular system, such as the muscles, nerves in the peripheral nervous system, such as the arms and legs, nerves in the central nervous system with the brain and spinal cord, or the neuromuscular junction, where nerves and muscles meet. These diseases generally cause muscle weakness, fatigue, and other symptoms. Most are progressive, meaning the symptoms get worse over time. There are many different types, each affecting the body differently or causing weakness in different muscle groups. In some cases, symptoms can begin in infancy, while others appear in childhood or adulthood. Depending on the type of disease and its severity, they can affect the ability to do everyday activities like walking, eating, and breathing. Currently, there are no cures, but there are treatments available for some types. Scientists have discovered more than 500 genes that can cause these diseases, and the number is still growing. Gene-targeted therapies hold a lot of promise. Right now, research is being done on genetic therapies and new medications in hopes of finding a cure or effective treatments that can delay disease progression and enhance quality of life. Neuromuscular diseases stand as some of the most challenging puzzles in science and medicine today. At the Muscular Dystrophy Association, they're tackling these challenges head-on, pushing the boundaries of research to unlock groundbreaking treatments, and empowering people living with these diseases to live without limits. And with your help, we have the opportunity to make an even greater impact. All right, let's put a face to these conditions and see how they impact real families right here in our community. The Zoll family story began like many others, with the excitement of expecting a child and the anticipation of learning whether they'd be welcoming a boy or a girl. But during what should have been a routine gender reveal, the Zolls received news that would change their lives forever. In a town where time seems to slow down, one family's race against it is just beginning. Welcome to Augusta, Missouri, where neighbors know each other by name and life moves at a leisurely pace.
It really is about 100 people that they like to take care of each other.
Yeah, you got it.
For the Zoll family, that sense of community became a lifeline when their 3-year-old son Rory was born.
Good job. I think you're getting faster at this puzzle.
Rory is a character. He is smart, he's funny, he's intuitive. Is it a green giraffe? A Brachiosaurus.
But behind Rory's infectious personality lies a diagnosis that rewrote their family story.
We were just waiting to hear boy or girl, and then we heard that it was a boy, but then you could tell that her tone changed and she got a little bit more serious.
The Zolls were confronted with some unfamiliar, scary words. Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a progressive genetic disorder that causes muscles to weaken over time. After that diagnosis, fear cast a long shadow.
It was just we were going to live in misery, just that all the things you see, that was going to happen right away. And I didn't have hope. So I was in a dark place.
But in their darkest hour, the Zolls discovered they were not alone. The Muscular Dystrophy Association stepped in, offering a beacon of support and optimism.
They were like, other families are like yours, and that is how we were able to join groups and reach out to other families going through what we were going through. They connect to this one.
Now, with MDA's help, Rory is part of a clinical trial.
Cool. That's a big, long train.
That could rewrite the future for children with Duchenne.
Yeah, you pick it up. When I think about the future now, I see Rory doing all the things we had dreamed for him to do.
I can see the cure in my lifetime. I can really see and I hope that it's around the corner.
In Augusta, where time seems to stand still,
Bye, Dad. It is on his way.
the Zulls race forward now with newfound optimism.
Rory, Rory, Rory.
Reminding us that in a world that often rushes by, true progress is measured not in leaps and bounds, but in hope and the celebration of every small step.
The MDA has meant everything to us.
And we're back live at Grant's Farm. The Zoll family joins me. We have Danny and Amanda and Rory, who's 3, and Lainey, who is 1. And let me just ask you, when you think about MDA, Danny, what do you think about?
Hope, thankfulness, gratefulness that they support everything we have asked. They've given us the knowledge and the education to help us and the community to be a part of.
And one of the things that we talked about in that story, and we discussed a lot when we were together, was the word hope. And when we think of MDA, I think that word comes up a lot.
Oh yes, definitely. We have lots of hope for the future. The MDA helps with clinical trials and treatments for boys like Rory, and we just have a lot of hope for the future, and we can't wait to cure Duchenne.
We talked a little bit about Augusta and the support you guys have. So you not only have an MDA team, you do have some folks back home who really help you through this, don't you?
Oh yeah, whether it's family, friends, neighbors, just everybody that meets Rory is there to help.
Yeah, they are. All right, Rory, can you do those big muscles for me? Look at the camera. There you go. And can you say, please give? Please give. That's good. Thank you guys so much. Thank you very much for coming out. We do appreciate it and letting us tell your story. Let's go to Ann.
Thank you so much, Mike. Time now for another important member of the team, someone who has been helping out on the telethon for many, many years. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. He is back at the 5 on Your Side studio. Scott.
Well, hey, Ann, you have a great evening tonight out there at Grant's Farm. And we're talking not about weather tonight, but about jeans. And not the denim jeans, but the incredible blueprints that make each of us unique. These tiny units of heredity determine everything from eye color to how tall or short we are. But here's something fascinating. The genes are like coded messages, and scientists supported by MDA have made groundbreaking discoveries. They've found ways to essentially hack into this genetic code, coaxing the body to read these messages differently than nature intended. So why is that so important? Well, it means we may be able to block the genes responsible for passing muscle diseases from one generation to the next. It's like changing the script before the story unfolds. Now, this is ongoing research. It's happening right now, and it's pushing us closer to a future where muscular dystrophy could be a thing of the past. But groundbreaking science isn't cheap. And that's where you come in tonight. Your support can help keep this vital work going. Even a small contribution can make a big difference. Like Renie said, this is the make a difference kind of thing. We need everybody to get involved. So if you can, please text donate to 314-425-5355, and together we can help write a new chapter in this fight against muscular dystrophy. Thanks for being an incredible part of this journey. Ann?
Scott, thank you. And now we have an important message from a true hero.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
And just a reminder, you can text the word donate to 314-425-5355 to make a donation. You can also go to kstk.com/donate. Once again, a local gym did their part for the Muscular Dystrophy Association every year. And this past spring, they brought St. Louisans together to get active. Burn Boot Camp held their 8th annual Be Their Muscle event at Parkway West. They led a 45-minute workout session on the football field to raise money for MDA. And the boot camp's owner says the event is all about being there for our community.
It feels incredible to know that we are surrounded by so much support and those hearts of generosity to give back in such a meaningful way that we know that we can do so much more when we come together, and we're doing it.
Camp beat their fundraising goal. They have raised more than $200,000 since 2018. More on Burn Boot Camp later tonight. Let's go back to Mike.
All right, Ann, thanks. You know, every year it's our hope that we don't have to come back and do this telethon, that somehow, some way, doctors and researchers will find cures. Well, we're not there yet, but we've got some exciting news. Thanks in part to your donations, there is a new treatment for spinal muscular atrophy, which is a rare muscle-wasting disease that, in its most severe form, is deadly. So this new treatment is hope, again, for so many, including a local family from Villa Ridge. About 45 minutes southwest of St. Louis, the landscape seems to unfold without limitations.
Yes, we're a ways out of town.
And calling this place home is a 4-year-old girl with a spirit that knows no limitations.
Go, go, go! Gotta hear it!
Unwavering exuberance.
One
Big
more.
kick, big
Big
kick.
kick.
A kid that, for being a COVID baby, knows no strangers. Everybody's a friend. Oh, which side do you want to go down?
Kenzie Graves' life is a playground of possibilities.
Count us down.
But it's also a reminder of the preciousness of every precious moment. When Kenzie was born, she was whisked away to the neonatal intensive care unit. A few days later, doctors delivered devastating news. The diagnosis, a disorder called spinal muscular atrophy.
It was overwhelming. You're looking at this paper and looking at the child in front of you and reading about this disease, and it's surreal. You don't believe it.
This is Apple Tree Farm.
SMA affects the nerve cells that control muscle movement.
Every day, Poppy takes her
Because the muscles don't respond to the usual signals, they weaken and shrink.
Hey, don't take one in mine.
Oh.
And Kenzie has the most severe form, type 1.
You hope and pray that everything's going to be normal and normal kid, and you're going to do all these things and teach them all these things, and then now all of a sudden they tell you that she might not live to be 2.
Until just a few years ago, this diagnosis would have been a death sentence. But now there is hope. Doctors told the Graves about a new treatment called Zolgensma.
We went into that meeting not knowing what to do. We went out saying, okay, I think we're going to be okay.
You like Peppa? Yeah.
Zolgensma, discovered through research funded in part by the Muscular Dystrophy Association,
Right, you gotta get it to fit right here though.
is given as a one-time infusion to children under the age of 2.
High five.
Good job. It was a gene therapy and essentially provided the gene that she was missing.
It's not a cure, but it's hope.
How is she doing? Hey, come here.
Really, really well. I'd say beyond our wildest dreams, really. She eventually began walking at 21 months. She pretty closely hit most of your typical milestones.
Out. In.
When MDA was founded, there was barely a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, more than 70 years later, that light illuminates countless lives. And the mission endures to accelerate research, elevate care, and unite families.
MDA provided a community for us. They also provide resources and support.
So Kenzie's family lives every day with gratitude, forever indebted to the compassionate hearts that generously rallied behind MDA's purpose.
You're changing lives, like not even a little bit, like drastically. People like you gave my daughter life, like literally gave her life. Keep trying. There you go.
From limitations
There you go.
Whoa.
to liberation. One young girl inspiring hope for others on her journey of resilience. And we're back at Grant's Farm, and joining me now, the Graves family, Kenzie, Cody, and Sydney. Thanks, guys, for being here. We really appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit more about the journey. And you get this diagnosis, and it must have been a dark time, and then hope ended up on the other side.
Absolutely. It's really hard to grapple with a diagnosis like that, but the fact that we had access to Zolgensma and were able to treat Kenzie 4 weeks after she was born was a game changer. It changed our lives and changed her lives, quite literally.
And really, you guys went into a meeting not knowing where things stood, and everything changed.
Absolutely, yeah. We went in at a week, when she was a week old, got a note at our pediatrician's office to go see a neurologist, went and visited a neurologist not knowing anything. And it was kind of you walk in with nothing and you walk out with hope. I mean, it was, we walked out feeling okay. Yeah. We had a plan. We knew what we were going to do. Our neurologist, her team was awesome in helping us navigate that and, kind of understand what her diagnosis was and the treatment options for it.
And one of the things we talked about when we were together was how these donations, the people that are watching right now who call in or they text, they make these donations, and that's why Zolgensma is available. And you were very thankful. You wanted to say thank you to everybody.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you to everyone out there. I can't tell you how much it means for us to have people that don't even know us sitting here donating, because those donations saved our daughter's life. And you can save more people's lives by continuing to donate, because there's still a lot more that needs to be done.
And Kenzie, I understand, you just started kindergarten, is that right?
Yes.
And what school do you go to? The Warriors?
Yes.
Yes. So, can you look out there at the camera and say, please give?
Please give.
Yes, please give. That's straight from Kenzie. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. Let's send it over to Renie.
Mike, I need Kenzie to come over here and work the Star Wall with me. Wow, what a story. You heard it. Life-saving. Okay? This isn't just giving money and hoping that it makes a difference. This money will indeed make a difference in the lives of people throughout the St. Louis area. I think that's one of the greatest things about our telethon in particular, is the fact that it's all about the people in our area. So what I need is for all of you to call in, make a donation, and get up here on my star wall. I am getting a few more stars. I've got a couple of blue stars now. I want to say thank you to Joseph for that one. Over here, I've got Eric, I've got Mary over here, Tammy, and Marge, all giving the blue stars. Now, the blue stars signal a $100 donation. The gold stars that you see up here, that's $500 or more. We also have the silver star. The silver star is a donation of $250. So right now, I'm starting to see a galaxy start to come about. I'm starting to see a universe take shape, but I need a whole lot more stars up there. I want so many stars up there that when you look up, what you see is hope. Hope in the skies above, hope for a better tomorrow for the folks out there suffering who need our help, to help the advancements in medicine and everything else, to make their lives that much better. We are all in this together. We are the Make a Difference Association. So tonight, I want you to get on the team, and I want you most of all to get on my wall. I need you on that wall. You have got to get on that wall. And tonight, you have the opportunity to get on that wall and make one heck of a difference. Right now, let's toss things over to the one and only Ann Allred. Ann?
Making a Difference Association. We're all part of it. I love that, Renie. And since we are raising money for MDA tonight, we want to share some information about the Muscular Dystrophy Association. When it comes to MDA, it's all about the life we live.
It's all about the life we live. It's all about the moments we share, how we care, how we give. Stronger together along the way. It's all about the life we live today. We will fight when we need to. With truth we empower. We face down the moments that we did not choose. We lead with conviction, embracing each hour. And with every advance advancement. We shout out the
There could be an historic breakthrough in conquering the most common and most deadly form of muscular dystrophy.
Can't wait to see what this journey brings with all of us together.
They've made summer camp possible. They've given us care centers. They're giving us the best care possible.
When MDA reached out to us, we felt like we weren't alone, marooned on an island anymore.
The MDA has sponsored our research from the early days and continues to sponsor research for our ALS patients, and that's extremely important.
I'm going to college because I want to ultimately cure my disease.
You can face the challenges that come with muscular dystrophy, and you can be successful. It's not just about where your life isn't going, it's about where your life is going.
As an adult with 2 kids, I was diagnosed. In life, you have to learn how to adapt quickly. I've spent most of my life learning to adapt and make things work in my way. To me, adapting translates to living.
Well, I never thought that in my lifetime I would see such a turnabout in outcome and outlook for our patients who now have hope and who have a better quality of life.
Earlier this year, I achieved a really important milestone for me. I celebrated my 54th birthday, which is remarkable in that it represents 3 times the length of life that had been predicted for me when I was first diagnosed with muscular dystrophy in 1976.
We will never stop advocating. Our vision is a world where inclusion is the norm, where people see possibilities instead of limitations, and where no challenge is too big to overcome.
It's all about the life we live. It's all about the moments we share, how we care, how we give, stronger together along the way. It's all about the life we live today. It's all about the life we live today. It's all about the life we live.
And now here's a word from someone who makes their living using his muscles all the time in the National Football League.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before.
Your donation today means so much. MDA is leading innovation in research, care, and advocacy for the neuromuscular disease community. Visit the website on your screen to make a donation. Scan the QR code on your screen to make a donation. Thank you for tuning in today to hear the stories of our families, and thank you for your continued support of the MDA mission for all these years. Shout out to Mike Bush and the KSDK team for the years of dedication and commitment to our MDA families. As I always say, together we fight. Thank you, St. Louis.
A great message. And now let's get back to another important member of our team, the Making a Difference Association, as Renie likes to call it. Let's get back in the studio with Scott Connell.
Well, you know, Ann, it's one of those things. For 70 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association has been committed to transforming the lives of people with muscular diseases. So I have a little story for you. We all know St. Louis is a baseball town. So this is a couple of years ago. This is Kathy. This is Phil. These are a couple of my best friends from college, both meteorology students and now meteorologists, both actually working with the National Weather Service. Now, I bring this up because a little over 4 years ago, Kathy was diagnosed with ALS. Now, traveling's a little more of a challenge, but we got her out here. We rolled into Busch Stadium in her wheelchair. We had a great time. And here's the good news. She's still up to traveling. She's still able. And so we're taking advantage of that. And all of us, plus another one of our classmates, actually meeting in Chicago and then on to Milwaukee this coming weekend for another baseball trip. So our little weather squad is seizing the moment. And I want you to seize this moment right now. There's a bunch of research that crosses over from MD into ALS. And since its inception, MDA's committed more than $1 billion to accelerate the discovery of therapies and cures. Research they've supported is directly linked to life-changing therapies across multiple neuromuscular diseases. So please help now. I'll match the next 5 $100 donations as a way to honor Kathy. So help us with our mission. You're a part of this. St. Louis always has been. Visit the link at the bottom of the screen or text donate to 314-425-5355 and give what you can. We want to get those stars on Renie's star wall tonight. Mike?
Scott, thanks, and thanks for the personal story. A reminder that this hour of the Telethon is sponsored by Maryville University, one of the fastest growing universities in the country. Again, thanks to Dr. Mark Lombardi and to Maryville for their support of MDA. And thanks to everyone who is watching MDA's Show of Strength from Home. We're at beautiful Grants Farm for this very important cause. One of the most important days of the year for local families is the annual Muscle Walk. It's another one of MDA's big fundraisers. I was lucky enough to be there when we came back this past spring, and it was an amazing day. As the morning sun cast its glow over Forest Park, a different kind of light was shining, one of hope and strength. The Muscular Dystrophy Association's Muscle Walk has arrived, rallying the community to stand tall for those fighting neuromuscular diseases.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our MDA Walk.
Among the sea of determined faces, members of Holden's Heroes, a team marching for a little boy with a big battle ahead.
I'm here for my son Holden. He's 3 and he has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and I just want there to be a cure.
For the Alessi family, hope is not a distant dream, but a reality fueled by the promise of progress.
The thing that gives me the most hope is going to be just walking around and seeing the happiness at events like this.
High five.
People like 23-year-old Olivia Holler have very personal reasons for being at the walk today.
I am here because I have muscular dystrophy, and I'm here to walk for research. I think, being a part of this organization is why I'm here.
Was it your birthday yesterday?
Yes.
Did you turn 19?
19.
8. Oh, okay.
Every story here is a story of resilience, like that of the Flying Pigs, a team that soars on the wings of love and remembrance.
It's a way to keep my son's memory alive, but it's also in honor of everyone that I know that's still struggling with these muscle diseases.
It was called a walk, but it's really a dance of defiance, a chance to go be brave. The MDA Muscle Walk, a beautiful reminder that when hope takes a step and a community rallies together, the path ahead shines brighter than ever before.
I think we're living examples of how people's charity and love can change lives.
All right, let's check our first tote of the night. All right, we're off and running, 4,610. We've got a long way to go, and we need your help. 314-425-5355, and just text the word donate. Let's go to Renie.
During football season, we always hear those cheers. Defense, defense. Well, tonight the cheer is donate, donate. We need you to give. We need you to be a part of this community, because when you're in this community, you help our entire community. If there's one thing that we learned from 2020 and the pandemic, it's the fact that we are not in this alone. We are indeed in this together. And there are people out there who cannot do for themselves unless we help them. So tonight, I need you to band together. I need you to donate. I need you to give what you can, and collectively, will make a huge difference in the St. Louis area. I think I said it earlier when it comes to donations, so we have 3 numbers. $500 and above, that gets you one of these gold stars. A blue star, that's for someone who donates at least $100. And if you're able to give $250, well, that gets you a silver star. So let's say tonight you're at home and you go, Renie, I would love to give, but all I have right now is $25. Well, phone a friend who will phone a friend who will phone a friend. Next thing you know, we've got 4 $25 donations, which adds up to $100. Get all your friends involved. Get family members involved. Get your kids involved, because when they know that they helped tonight, it's going to make them feel a whole lot better heading into tomorrow. It's going to make our entire community that much better, because we all understand that we are all in this together. The Making a Difference Association. Let me see what we've got up here. We've got Mr. Mike Bush, a man who doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. A $500 donation to get him a gold star. Over here, Maryville University with a gold star. We've got a few blue stars here as well. I've got Glenn with a blue star, Kristen with a blue star, as well as Adam with a blue star. But most of all, I want a star with your name on it, because I need this to be covered in stars. I don't have any silver stars as of yet. Let's get some silver stars by the next time I see you guys. Right now, let's toss things over to Allred. Ann, I need some stars.
I know you're working on that beautiful universe. I know we're going to get there. We've got an hour and a half left. We've got a lot of work to do, Renie. You're doing great. So in a more serious subject, we're going to talk about ALS for a moment. If you know anything about ALS, you know it is a devastating disease. It robs people of their ability to move, to speak. Eventually, they're unable to breathe. It's a relentless opponent. It's claimed far too many lives. But even in the face of such a formidable foe, hope can persist. Here's Mike with a look back at 2 people who refuse to let ALS have the final say.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for.
In the shadow of an unforgiving illness, a legacy of hope and determination emerged, forever altering the course of ALS research and support. 85 years ago, the indomitable spirit of Lou Gehrig, a legend lost too soon at 37 to ALS, inspired a movement. It was his courageous battle that led his widow, Eleanor Gehrig, to partner with the Muscular Dystrophy Association, MDA, marking the beginning of an unparalleled legacy in the fight against ALS. From the moment of their founding in June of 1950, MDA embarked on a mission fueled by a deep commitment to unravel the mysteries of neuromuscular diseases. Eleanor Gehrig's direct involvement with MDA set a course for decades of dedicated advocacy and support, marking a cornerstone in the fight against ALS. Her role as MDA's national campaign chairperson was a testament to her commitment to change the future of ALS. Today, guided by Lou and Eleanor Gehrig's legacy, MDA continues to champion hope and progress for the ALS community, funding research that is bringing promising new treatments to market, including gene therapy. They're providing an unparalleled level of access to resources and care that strengthen and championing public policy that brings the voice of the ALS community directly to the people making today's legislative and regulatory decisions. The heart of MDA's mission is about more than just fighting neuromuscular diseases. It's about supporting families and building a community anchored in courage and care, a vision Eleanor Gehrig laid the foundation for so many years ago.
From the baseball diamond to the front lines of medical research, the Gehrig's legacy has been a beacon of hope for countless families affected by ALS. Mike?
And thanks. Well, we're joined by a very special guest. So we mentioned to you that this is now an all-local telethon. For many, many years, we did the Jerry Lewis Muscular Dystrophy Telethon right here from Grants Farm, right here on KSDK. We were on for 19 and a half hours, and then they stopped doing a national telethon. But the families came to me, they said, we really want to continue having this day for our families so that we can show the flag of the Muscular Dystrophy Association and also get together with other families families because it means so much in terms of support. So we started an all-local telethon, which would not be possible without this young lady right here. Alicia Elsner is the general manager, the boss of KSDK, and I went to her and I said, what can we do? And she stepped up, and that's why we've been doing this in prime time for the last several years. And not only is she helping us put this on the air, she's got a special gift, and we're very excited about this because this is totally unexpected. So tell me, Alicia, what happened?
Well, we had the opportunity to call our friends up at the Tegna Corporation and ask the Tegna Foundation if they would be willing to allow KSDK to make this generous donation of $5,000. And without any hesitation whatsoever, Tegna said, do it. So I am, on behalf of all of the employees at KSDK and all of the 7,000 employees of Tegna, I am just so happy to be able to give you this $5,000 jump start for the rest of the evening, and I hope that we go well past any of our goals that we may have.
It's just so tremendous because it's such a surprise, and I thank you so much for making that phone call, and thanks so much for Tegna for stepping up and doing this for us.
It's our sincere pleasure.
Alicia, thank you very much. Well, Ann, you heard Lou Gehrig say, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth, and that's despite that diagnosis. Well, a local man had something in common with Lou Gehrig. He also felt lucky, even though he had the same terrible disease.
Chip, beautiful day.
Clark, come here. Come here, buddy.
To the Thyers, family is not an important thing. It's everything.
I'm finding out that our family is kind of rare.
I think it's always supposed to be 7. Wasn't it supposed to be 7 today?
On any given Sunday, you might find 40 or 50 people at this house in Bunker Hill, Illinois.
Betty, you want to give Papa a drink?
On a holiday, there might be double that.
Some people call it chaos. We call it family, so.
Cindy and John Thayer got married when they were teenagers, and they had 8 kids.
They were determined to raise the 8 of us and make sure we were all had everything we need and successful.
45 years later, there are 25 grandkids with 2 great-grandchildren on the way. But now this circle of strength is facing its greatest test. Just a few months ago, doctors gave John, the family patriarch, a diagnosis of 3 letters that should never go together: ALS.
I literally hit the floor. I think I was to my knees. Hard to believe. Here. Okay, and I gotta get his glasses.
Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, is a deadly neurological disease that affects muscle movement. You lose your ability to walk, to chew, even to breathe.
It's like exercises.
He's been on a breathing machine 24/7 since about March. No longer can use his arms, legs.
I'm gonna go ahead and flush.
Ask him and John will tell you that in one way, he's actually grateful.
Oh, thank God it wasn't my family. One of my kids are my grandkids. That's really how I dealt with it. I don't challenge the disease. That's my path.
Oh, I gotta sit you up. So you ready?
Relying on others doesn't come easy for this long-time over-the-road trucker.
Yeah, we had to put the gate bills on.
But everybody in the family is now a caregiver.
This is my new legs.
There we go. That's how you get around. And I said, let me grab the machine. When I want to take care of you, Dad, don't tell me no. Don't. Maybe that's how I deal with it. So just let me do that. And he said, okay. There you go.
Instead of counting the days, the Thyers are determined to make every day count.
Give me kisses, Claire Bear.
Which is why they say they're grateful to the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Oh, good girl.
They helped line us up and show us where to go and what to do. We'd be lost without them.
So hungry, and I'm not eating.
Never has a large, loving family been more important.
I may be the richest guy on the face of the earth. I beat out Bill Gates for sure.
John Thayer is on a path no one should ever have to take.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you so much.
You too, baby.
But he won't be walking it alone. Unfortunately, shortly after doing that piece, about 6 years ago, we lost John. And that's the thing about ALS. It's deadly. There is no cure, so we have to work to try and find one. And joining me now live here at Grants Farm is Angie Thayer. And Angie, we've been talking about ALS while that story was running. There's still no cure, and they're working hard every day, but you have a better idea than most what this disease does to a family.
Well, usually when you part ways with a loved one, you find that there's a bit of rest. There's no peace with ALS. There's no easy way about it. It is a very ugly and trying disease, and it's been a century and a half, and there are 0 survivors. So by working together with you and the MDA and community resources, we can hopefully find a cure or at least a better quality of life, extend the life of an individual suffering with ALS. It becomes generational. As you know, our family continues to grow, and it saddens me that the only thing they'll know about my father is what we have there to tell him.
But I will say, just seeing him around your family, when it wasn't even this big, it really, you could see the love and you could see the support, and I think that's going to always remain.
That will stay with us steadfast. That is our foundation. My dad was so full of life. You got to meet him right before that.
Right.
That piece was done shortly before he passed.
Right.
Literally within weeks.
Right.
He was very full of life. He does have a very solidified legacy, and I know that he would be proud of us and who we are. But he would also want more work to be put forth for those that can't do for themselves. And that's where it comes in, the importance of donating.
So what would you say to the folks who are out there who are thinking about making a donation?
Every single donation makes a difference. Every single contribution has the potential to change the fate that my family unfortunately had to face. And so together we are better. And I hope that you can find it in your heart out there to make room for those individuals who are suffering with ALS and their families.
Thank you so much for being
You're welcome.
here. Always great to see you.
You as well.
Let's go to Ann.
Mike, thank you so much. For decades, you've seen that at busy intersections and street corners, firefighters with boots in hand asking for your support. This tradition, known as Fill the Boot, it's been going on as a firefighter charity for decades. And each year, nearly 100,000 step off their trucks and onto the streets for this cause. Their efforts have been nothing short of extraordinary, raising more than $20 million for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. The impact of these funds cannot be overstated. Firefighters have been instrumental in advancing muscular dystrophy research. In recent years, their contributions have helped push promising new treatments from the lab to FDA approval, offering hope to thousands of patients and their families. With me tonight, right now, we're so happy to have you guys. Matt Coppin from Metro West Fire and Josh Gully from the Cotterville Fire Department. Both of them have been here many years. Matt, you've been here for so many years. Josh, at least 3 years standing here with me. We can't thank you enough. And a big milestone for the International Association of Firefighters and firefighters all around the state of Missouri and Illinois. Talk about it.
This year is the 70th anniversary of the International Association of Firefighters supporting MDA. So that's a huge thing for us. 7 decades worth of supporting MDA. During that time, the International has raised over $700 million for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, and that's something we take great pride in.
$700 million. Josh, tell me about Cotterville Fire's journey to fill the boot and all of the time you spent on the road so far collecting this year.
Well, in June, we start with a firefighter on the roof at our Chick-fil-A. We put a firefighter on the roof, and we raise the big ladder as people are coming through the drive-thru and raising money. And that's our big kickoff event in June. And we're still kind of collecting to this day and trying to get in all our totals. But it's great being out, interacting with the public and getting donations and handing out the little MDA stickers. Love it.
Well, we appreciate it so much. And you've got quite a few months left in Fill the Boot.
Yep. Yeah, we'll be collecting through the end of the year, and then so come December, January, we'll have our next year's totals. So.
And you've got another event coming up. You want to tell people when it is, Matt?
Sure. Yeah, we are collecting Fill the Boot this year. We've got our last collection on Tuesday. We'll be outside of the the Clayton Clarkson Deerbergs and the Wildwood Deerberg. So if you're in the West County area, stop by, put some money in the boot. We greatly appreciate it.
All right, Matt, Josh, thank you. Thank you to Cotterville Fire and Metro West and all of your hard work to support MDA. Let's send it to Renie.
Hello, Ann. Okay, so I am joined by John. John is with the National Association of Letter Carriers. First of all, thank you so much for being here. And you guys have been a part of this for some time now.
Yeah, since 1952, nationally, we've been raising money for MDA and locally as well.
What is it about MDA that you guys feel like that's our cause, that's what we want to be about?
Well, our national officers, they started it all out, but we have picked up the banner. And actually, I wanted to make a shout out to a gentleman by the name of Gus Frank, who had been the coordinator since the late 70s. He recently passed away last year, but his tireless effort raised a lot of money for MDA. We've gone to the camps and everything else like that. We just love it.
So this year you guys decided to throw the fish hook into the lake and catch some bass.
Right.
So do you know how many bass were caught?
I do not know. I don't know.
A lot of bass.
Yeah,
so tell me about the fundraiser.
Yeah, right. Well, the fundraiser, Kenny Young from Southwest Post Office, he's done it every year for 28 years, and he's raised over cumulatively $223,000.
Wow.
And this year he raised $10,000.
Wow, thank you so much. So much. I mean, that is tremendous. When you think about the difference that the letter carriers can make, just tell me about the emotion.
Oh, I'll tell you, any event we have and when they bring the kids out, it's amazing. Going to camp is real moving. We try to bring somebody different all the time so they can really see the kids, how happy they are at camp. They love that. It's a highlight of their year, I know that.
Well, John, thank you very much for being a difference maker. Thank you to all the letter carriers for making a difference. They are donating $10,000 to the cause tonight, Mike. I think that deserves a standing ovation from everybody.
That's a big number, Renie. That's fantastic news. Thank you so much. Now, I've been mentioning throughout this hour that this hour has been sponsored by Maryville University, one of the fastest growing universities in the country, thanks to this man and his team. This is Dr. Mark Lombardi of Maryville University. I call him every year. I said, can you give to MDA? And he says, absolutely. So, Mark, I just want to talk a little bit about the mission of Maryville, because it's not just MDA, it's so many communities in the St. Louis area that you just decided to get involved with, and it's kind of the mission of Maryville University.
It really is. The whole concept for us, we call it access and opportunity. It's giving young people access to our education, but then really reaching out into the community at all levels, faculty, staff, students, the institution as a whole, and getting involved and not telling the community what it needs, but listening to them, let them tell us what they need and doing our best to help provide it.
And we know that a lot of universities and colleges all across the country are struggling these days, but somehow you've been able to thrive. How have you been able to do that?
Well, we tripled enrollment actually from 3,000 over 9,000 the last several years, but a lot of it has to do with not just one-on-one, but we've got a digitally forward approach to education. We use state-of-the-art technology to educate young people to reach out in the community. Right now, for example, we're layering in artificial intelligence to help with learning diagnostics and helping students to succeed. So a lot of it has to do with being on the cutting edge of technology, learning technology for our students.
And you recently announced that you're retiring at the end of this year. What is Mark Lombardi going to do?
Oh, I'm going to stay in St. Louis. I love the community. I want to stay involved in the community as much as possible. I'm going to write, I'm going to speak, but really I want to be here to cheer on what Maryville is going to do in the future, because for all the things we've accomplished, Maryville is going to do 10 times more things after I'm gone. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Mark, thanks for your generosity.
Thank you, Mike.
Always a pleasure. Mark Lombardi. Well, we've said it. Every contribution counts, no matter how big or small. With more on how donations help drive MDA's mission, let's send it back to Scott Connell.
Well, hey, Mike, you know, MDA's mission is just not about tackling one disease. As you've heard several times this evening, this is a battle against over 40 different neuromuscular conditions, and it's a complex challenge. But your support is powering remarkable progress. Every dollar you donate fuels cutting-edge research and care. And because of you, people are living longer, stronger, and more independently than ever before. Go back to my friend Kathy. That's the case for her as well, even though she's not in St. Louis. Your dollars stay here at home. From groundbreaking treatments to potential cures, your generosity is driving real change. We envision a future where these telethons are a thing of the past. We don't have to do it anymore. But until that day comes, we're counting on you. Every contribution, big, small, it moves us closer to that goal. Are you ready to make a difference? It's really easy. I just did it a few minutes ago. Text DONATE to 314-425-5355 or visit ksdk.com/donate. Your gift today could be the key to someone's brighter tomorrow. Thank you for joining this vital fight. Mike, back to you out at Grants Farm.
Scott, thanks so much. Before we continue, just a quick reminder to make a donation. Just simply text DONATE to 314-425-5355 or visit ksdk.com/donate. Now, having been part of this telethon for many years, I've witnessed both the challenges and triumphs in our fight against neuromuscular diseases. Some conditions, like Duchenne muscular dystrophy, can be devastating. But there's another side to the story, one of progress and hope. And thanks to your generous donations over the years, we've seen remarkable advancements. These breakthroughs are giving families more than just treatment options. They're providing hope for a brighter future. And hope is exactly what keeps one local family going.
As far as 10-year-old Dean Alessi is concerned,
That feel cool?
the best gift his parents ever gave him was his little brother.
That feel funny?
Dean has wanted a brother or sister since since he was like 3 or 4. It's just such a sweet thing to see the two of them interact with each other.
You put it on your head.
In this house, there's never an energy shortage.
Hey, buddy.
Even though Holden is just 17 months old,
Are you going looking for mommy?
he tries to always keep up with his big brother.
Have fun in that room.
From the time that he was just a little baby, a couple weeks old, we joked around how we shouldn't have named him Holden because you could never set him down.
Here, look.
This brotherly love is comforting for Mom and Dad
You just want mommy. All the time, mommy.
because their closeness today may be Holden's strength tomorrow. When Holden was just an infant, he fell ill on a family vacation.
He had a virus and just didn't seem to be getting better.
One test led to another, and then another, and then another, and finally a diagnosis.
We both just sobbed and burst into tears.
3 words changed the Alessi's life: Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
What did you know about Duchenne muscular dystrophy?
Not a lot. Honestly, I mean, I knew probably what 99% of other people tell you, Mike, is Jerry Lewis, Telethon, you know?
Push it, push.
Duchenne muscular dystrophy is a genetic disorder, typically in boys,
Oh, this is your brother's. Remember this one?
that causes the muscles to become weak,
Ready?
Yay!
and it's progressive, meaning it gets worse as you get older.
So I like catching that ball. It's so fun when mommy does that.
What scares you?
My son dying before me. I don't want to watch him get sick.
But with this family, Duchenne dystrophy is in for a fight. At the MDA walk in the spring, a group of friends and family called Holden's Heroes helped raise $10,000 for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And MDA is helping to fund some promising new drugs that actually rebuild muscle tissue.
I have to be hopeful. There's no other way to look at it. I can't scare myself into inaction or into just pretending like it's not there and like it doesn't exist. Like I have to be hopeful. Oh, we gonna put the strawberries in with the graham crackers?
That's why around here, the day and the hour is always now.
There you go, bud. It's a good strawberry.
You know, honestly, Mike, I try not to focus too much on anything past today.
Baseball's time.
Okay, ready?
A little harder.
He doesn't know it yet,
Ready? Oh.
Yeah.
but there's one young boy who won't face his challenges alone
It's kind of cool.
because Big Brother is watching.
One of the most caring kids I've ever met.
Joins us live. This is Dean, and we're also joined by Holden, who's over here, and we've got Amber and Rob. So let's talk a little bit about this journey that you've been on. You were just saying even last week you were on a bit of a journey when Holden went into the hospital.
Yeah, we just have to take things in stride and go one day at a time with this. But as part of Holden's treatment, we were going to get a port installed to make administering his medicine easier, which shouldn't glaze over. The medicine is wonderful that it's out there and available for him for weekly infusions, but it didn't quite go as planned. So,
but these are the kinds of things that happen.
Sure.
Because it's when you have to go in and out of doctors' offices, it's not easy. But I would imagine the idea of this medicine is hope for you.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I'm so hopeful because there's a lot more research going on too as well, and unfortunately, I know there was a recent clinical trials that we were not able to get into because he had the antibodies. So I'm really hoping, because of all the millions of dollars the MDA raises, that we can get a treatment that's available to kids who have the antibodies. Like, how else can they administer it? But what we have so far is better than if we had been diagnosed 10 years ago.
Sure.
So it's amazing.
And the reason for that is all the people who are contributing. Can you just talk a little bit about them and what they mean to your family?
Yeah, we're so thankful for the community and for everyone who does donate to the MDA. The MDA does a fantastic job of not just Duchenne muscular dystrophy, but all kinds of neuromuscular diseases, of raising money, raising awareness, spreading advocacy throughout the community, and we've already seen some benefit from the MDA, and I know others get a lot of benefit too. And for everything you do for the community, this is how many years now? So
a long time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much, as always, for coming out. Holden, you want to say anything to all the folks watching? You want to say hi? Good job. All right, let's send it to Ann.
Thank you, Mike. One thing we know is that our bodies, they're a miracle. Just watch a professional athlete, and you can see what happens when our mind and our muscles work together. It's a lot more complicated for someone with muscular dystrophy. And that's why Burn Boot Camp, the gym that helps you build muscle, is muscling up for MDA.
Hello, 430. Let's get into those jumping jacks.
Good things come to those who sweat.
This is where you push yourself. You'll have 20 seconds to recover.
That's what they believe here at Burn Boot Camp in Kirkwood.
Squeezing that booty, good. Intentional movement. We focus on strength training and burst training, bringing women together and their families to become mentally, emotionally, and physically strong.
Find that pace and stick with it.
Chelsea Theodoropoulos owns all 4 Burn Boot Camp locations in the St. Louis area.
You're going to start strong, you're going to finish strong today.
And she believes in the notion that we are all stronger than our excuses.
Pushing it to the very end. You got it. You got it. What we do here on the floor and part of our culture is celebrating what our bodies can do. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go.
Celebrating our bodies even when you're like 11-year-old Brenna Beffa.
There you go.
And your body works a little differently. When Brenna was a little girl, her parents knew something wasn't quite right. After many trips to the doctor and dozens of tests, there was finally a diagnosis: a muscular dystrophy called mitochondrial myopathy.
My muscles are different. They work differently to where I can't run for a long period of time, really fast.
Right. Mitochondrial myopathy causes muscle weakness, movement disorders, seizures, an array of other issues. But Brenna refuses to let the disease put a damper on her dreams.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A therapist.
What kind of therapist?
I haven't narrowed it down yet because I've done all types of therapy.
20 seconds in, you've got 20 left.
We all need help to achieve our dreams, and Burn Boot Camp is helping Brenna and kids like her.
There we go, Samantha.
They're raising the bar for giving to the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
2, 1.
We have raised over $1 million so far for the MDA, and it's a really important part of our organization.
MDA is as much a part of this gym as jumping jacks.
There we go. Keep that body moving.
Looking at muscle mass.
In fact, the head trainer here in Kirkwood
Losing a little bit of fat at the same time. So
used to head up the local MDA office.
It's really amazing to be able to bring like my past life and then my current together for this event every year and still be able to see the MDA families and have that relationship. There we go. Good.
Disability doesn't have to be an obstacle to success.
Good job, Brenna.
So being able to see Brenna, look at her in the eyes and see the opportunity of helping her instill confidence and feel strong,
One more time.
it gives me purpose every single day.
Awesome job. Very nice.
Fourth round here. How can you challenge yourself?
As far as Brenna Beffa is concerned,
Take that deep breath and go.
Burn Boot Camp's workouts are always a tribute
You do not need that break today.
to the heart.
We've got 8,
I think it's very cool and very amazing that they help us.
3, 2, 1.
And right now from Burn Boot Camp, we have Chelsea Theodoropoulos and we have Amanda DeBoard, both from Burn Boot Camp. And I think you should get a lot of stars on our star wall. What do you have to show us, Chelsea?
We are so proud that this year we have raised $45,016 towards the MDA.
Woohoo! That is amazing. And it's through so many workouts in the month of April.
Yes.
You're the owner of Burn. You're helping coordinate all these events, Amanda. Tell me about the month of April at Burn, because if you know anybody that goes to Burn, you guys are you become sisters with everyone when you go there.
Right.
It's crazy.
It is all about community and it's all about finding our inner strength, and a pillar of Burn Boot Camp is also about giving back. And so this is our way for us to give back. We dedicate the month of April to the MDA, and so we've had several initiatives to raise this money. We all come together across all 5 gyms, and it's just a beautiful way for us to honor our bodies and also do good, feel good, but most importantly, help others feel limitless.
And Burn Boot Camps across the country do it.
Yes. Yeah, so there's over 400 locations across the country, and this is a nationwide initiative that we have. And so there's just so much passion and purpose that comes behind MDA. And for us locally here to be able to give back in such a big way and be a part of something so much bigger than ourselves just feels incredible.
And every year you focus on this money going to the local St. Louis kids going to MDA camp. And have you been to camp? It's a magical experience.
Actually, Amanda just went just a few weeks ago, yep.
It was amazing. It was so fun to see wherever our money goes and to see the campers really engaged with their activities.
Amanda, Chelsea, thank you so much. $45,000, that's absolutely amazing. We mentioned earlier that you have a chance to become a star on the telethon by getting on our star wall. I think you get a couple hundred. But I think we still have that drone show going on. We might take a look at that as we head to Renie Knott at the star wall.
I'm digging this drone show right now. I mean, that's a lovely thing to see in the sky if you're here at Grants Farm. But I have something even better. It's not in the sky, but it is gleaming. This is the star wall here. And if we go all the way back to when we first started tonight, just about an hour ago, we probably had about 5 or 6 stars up here. But right now, we are getting a galaxy, folks. Look at my universe. Is this not beautiful or what? First of all, let me tell you which stars are what. The blue stars mean that you've made a donation of at least $100. A silver star means you've made a donation of at least $250. A gold star, that is a donation of $500 or more. I want to say thank you to Pan for doing a donation of $500 or more. Angela as well. I've got Dory and Jerry as well. Maryville University, Derek did a gold star. Gold star, silver star, actually going to Mary here. Hars gets a gold star. I've got Carol over here with a silver. I've got Sherry with a silver star. And look at my galaxy of all of my blue stars. Those are our $100 donations. Jenny with 1. Thank you very much, Jenny. Joseph, Ralph, Carrie, Stephen. Oh, the list goes on and on and on and on. I want to thank each and every one of you for realizing that you are a part of our team tonight. You are a part of the Making a Difference Association. We appreciate you, we love you, but we want more of you. Let's continue on to make a difference tonight. Right now, let's toss it back to the 5 on your side studios to to the one and only Scott Connell. Good evening, Scott.
Hi there, Renie. You know, the dollars everyone's donating tonight to MDA, they help all sorts of neuromuscular diseases. And with more on that, we're going to talk right now about what you need to do. First of all, donate, donate, donate. You know, we want you to donate. It's really easy. 314-425-5355. You just type the word donate, text it to that number, or you can go to kstk.com/donate. So we've been talking about it tonight. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS. It's a devastating condition, progressively robs individuals of their ability to move, their ability to talk, even breathe independently. Now, for over 5 decades, MDA's been at the forefront of the battle against ALS. Right here in St. Louis, the MDA ALS Clinic at Washington University School of Medicine, it's part of a global network of hundreds of MDA clinics. These centers are dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of ALS and developing effective treatments, and ultimately the goal is a cure. The journey's challenging, but MDA's resolve is unshakable, and your support is crucial to that and maintaining this momentum. Every contribution, regardless of size, propels this mission forward. So it's really easy to donate. Just text the word donate to 314-425-5355 or visit kstk.com/donate. Your generosity today could lead to that breakthrough tomorrow. Let's go back out to Grants Farm and Mike Bush.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. Here we go with our next tote. Let's see how we're doing thanks to your donations. Whoa, that's a big jump. We're up to $67,304. Thank you so much. We still have a long way to go, and we're hoping for more, so please continue to join us. And remember, 314-425-5355 to donate. You're watching the Show of Strength Telethon on 5 on Your Side.
Live from Grants Farm, it's the 2024 Show of Strength. A telethon to benefit the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And here's your host, Mike Bush.
All right. Before we continue, just another quick reminder to make a donation tonight. All you have to do is text the word donate to 314-425-5355, or if you are online, you can visit kstk.com/donate. Your support makes all the difference in the world. Now, I'd like to introduce you to one of the most inspiring people I know on earth. Sarah Schwegel was born with spinal muscular atrophy, or SMA. When she was diagnosed, doctors gave her family a grim prognosis with a limited life expectancy. But Sarah, she had other plans. She has not just defied the odds, she has shattered them. She has grown into an incredibly intelligent, successful woman who's dedicated herself to improving the lives of others facing similar challenges. And here's where your donations come into play. Thanks to groundbreaking new treatments, many of which were developed with support from the MDA, Sarah is now doing things she never thought possible.
So we made the bathroom a little bit bigger.
On the grand tour of her new home,
Kitchen is spacious.
Sarah Schwegel's spirit lights up the walls with hope.
It's been a really amazing place to live.
For her entire life, she's turned the barriers of her diagnosis into mere stepping stones on her journey.
Mommy, I want a water balloon.
Sarah was born with SMA, spinal muscular atrophy, a disease that progressively weakens the muscles to the point that you can't even cough, which makes a common cold uncommonly frightening.
I spent a lot of time in Children's Hospital.
1, 2, 3, up you go.
But her childhood was transformed 1 week every summer at MDA camp.
When you are at MDA camp and you are surrounded by people who understand what you're going through, it's relaxing and you can let go and you feel free because you don't have to just be on guard and aware of how your disability makes you just slightly different.
What would you like to tell them?
Please call.
Through our local MDA telethon broadcasts, we watched Sarah grow up, she'd be right by my side every Labor Day.
Jerry Lewis!
And then Sarah went national.
I told everyone at MDA that I think you're so adorable.
It was on the national MDA telethon in 2001 that Jerry Lewis asked Sarah to be MDA's Goodwill Ambassador. That year, Sarah was the face of the fight, not just for St. Louis, but for the entire country. She says the opportunity helped shape the trajectory of her life.
It has really given me the opportunity to figure out who I am and learn how to be a public presence and advocate for people with and without disabilities to make sure that everyone gets equal access and treatment.
After earning a bachelor's degree from Maryville University and a master's from St. Louis U, her education continues this fall.
I'm getting ready to go back to school for my doctorate in occupational therapy, which is something I've wanted to do for a very, very long time.
My prayer was always that God keep her happy and give her work to do, and He listened.
And apparently, He's still listening. For the first time in years, Sarah is rekindling her passion for art, thanks to a new drug called Evrysdi.
I can move my arms so much more. I'm able to do art again. I can bake. I can set up my own meals now a little bit. It's really incredible just to have like 5% more independence.
The drug was funded in part from your donations to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. When she was born, girls with SMA were not expected to live past their teens. But Sarah recently celebrated her 30th birthday.
I am so thankful for everyone who has been alongside us in this fundraising effort and the fight for equal access. We can use technology and build communities that are welcoming and offer everyone what they need to thrive and survive.
Sarah Schwegel, defying limitations and becoming an inspiration to us all.
And joining me now live is one of my favorite people on this earth, Sarah Schwegel, who was just telling me something happened on the way here that, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe even a year ago wasn't even possible.
Yeah, honestly, even a month ago it wasn't possible. I can now brush my own hair, which is absolutely huge and amazing, and something we've always said, like, life would be, I would have made it when I can brush my hair, and I can brush my hair now.
And that is because of these new drugs that you are on, and when someone says, well, I can brush my hair now, to most people that's not a big deal. But that's not something you've been able to do for how long?
I have literally never brushed my own hair prior to a couple weeks ago.
That is absolutely amazing. And what's amazing is this journey that you're on. We showed you in a cap and gown, but you've taken it to the next level, the next level, next level. Tell me where you are in your schooling right now.
So right now I am studying at WashU School of Medicine, program in occupational therapy, and I am getting my doctorate in OT.
And what does that mean going forward? What do you want to do?
So going forward, I would love to work with kids who use power chairs as their main mobility and study how power wheelchair soccer affects social outcomes and education outcomes as well as employment outcomes, but mostly focusing on social and belonging.
And so if someone is out there, I ask you this every year, if someone is out there thinking about making a donation, what would you tell them?
Please consider donating because your dollars go directly towards research that we are actively participating in. I'm in a 5-year efficacy study for one of the newer drugs, Risdiplam, and I am able to go into my doctor every year and share all of these incredible updates, and that's what your donation is funding.
Thanks, Sarah. Always wonderful to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go back to Ann.
She is amazing. Every year she has new exciting milestones to share with us because of your dollars that you give, and it all stays local. This hour is sponsored by Weber Chevrolet and the Weber family of dealerships. They have been supporters of MDA for many, many years, first with MDA Camp, where they met Zach Winkle and the kids and counselors. So our thanks again to the Weber family of dealerships. And thanks to everyone who is watching MDA's Show of Strength from home. We're glad you're spending part of your holiday weekend making a difference for this important cause. Let's send it back to Renie in the Star Wall.
Well, hello, Ann. You caught me red-handed right now. I got to put the Star with Charles' name up there as well. Put it right there. As you can see, our Star Wall has grown tremendously over the past hour and a little bit more than that. Let me give some shout-outs real quick. Thank you, David with a silver star, Lindsay with a silver star, David with a silver star, Olin and Donna with silver stars. How about Michelle with a gold star? We've got Keith and Rebecca with a gold star as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, how about some blue stars? Jennifer, Mary, Rita, Teresa, Stephen, Charles, Eric, Terry, Eileen, Sharon, Michael, Ellen, and I believe that is Ann. Thank you so much for giving tonight, being a part of our team, making a difference, going on the defense against muscular dystrophy. I love this. Okay, who else we got? We've got Robbie up here with a blue star, Michelle with a blue star. Oh, way up top there, I can't quite read it. I think that's Gina with the blue star. Jeannie with the blue star. Lindsay with the silver star. Judy over here. Charlene, Gary, Ralph. All right, keep them coming, folks. Remember, you could donate and make things happen. Let's toss things into Scott Connell. Scott?
All right, Renie, we are talking tonight about donating to the MDA, and, it was great to see Sarah out there, 30 years old now, and doing so much and making so many advances, being able to brush her hair. All right, so every day MDA gets closer to this ultimate goal of finding cures and treatments for people with all of these muscle diseases. But how does MDA offer help today while they offer services at more than 150 MDA care centers around the country? There's physical therapists. They help patients maintain muscle strength, the mobility. Respiratory therapists help with breathing problems. Speech therapists help patients when this disease limits the ability to speak. MDA is working every day to make lives better, and you can help too. You can be a big part of that. Give right now. Text the word donate to 314-425-5355 or ksdk.com/donate. Let's go back out to Grants Farm and Ann.
Thank you, Scott. We've got an important message now from the president and CEO of MDA.
I'm Dr. Donald Wood, President and CEO of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Today, I extend my deepest thanks to you for your generous support. Your contributions have been vital in our collective effort to push beyond limits and open up new possibilities for people living with neuromuscular diseases. With your help, we've expanded access to specialized care, championed important policy changes, and supported research that enhances our understanding of all neuromuscular diseases. Your generosity has also allowed us to develop programs and resources that promote independence, foster community, and encourage full participation in all aspects of life. The funding from KSDK telethons has led us to this point. Our strategic funding of research, care, and advocacy would not have been possible without your support over many decades, and we continue to make progress. For nearly 75 years, MDA has led the way in funding research to accelerate the development of new treatments, expanding access to care and clinical trials through a national care center network, the MDA Care Center Network. And we also are advocating for access and inclusion for the entire neuromuscular disease community. On behalf of everyone at MDA, thank you for joining us in this important work. Together, we are making a significant impact.
And now I'm joined by Sandra Sullivan with MDA, and we're just talking about all the difference people are making. And whenever I talk to somebody from MDA, they say this is a really exciting time because you were on the brink of so many things. Can you talk about some of those things?
Absolutely. We are so excited about the work that's happening right now. MDA has always been committed to empowering young adults, children, people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. So we're expanding our programs right now to open up opportunities for higher education, for meaningful careers. And I will tell you that there is a lot of excitement in research right now. The progress that's happening right now, and in the past decade, there have been 20 new drugs approved by the FDA to treat neuromuscular diseases, and that would have been unthinkable years ago. So we're very excited about what's going on right now.
And when a family gets an MDA or a muscular dystrophy, neuromuscular disease diagnosis, what does MDA do for the family? How do they find out about the family? How does the and then what happens after that?
Sure. Well, our organization is there from day one of diagnosis. So we have a family care center team, a network of MDA care centers across the country where experts and specialists who identify the unique needs of people with neuromuscular disease can treat and create an approach that is unique for every patient and family. And we also have resources, education, and tools that can help people navigate the sometimes complex challenges that are bound to happen with these disorders.
All right, Sandra Sullivan from the MDA, thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Ann.
And we're going to send it to Mike.
All right, Ann, thanks very much. MDA picks a goodwill ambassador every year, someone who can talk about the mission on how we can wipe out these neuromuscular diseases. You met one of those goodwill ambassadors a little earlier tonight, and Sarah Schwegel, and you're about to meet another. Tilly McRoberts has been an ambassador for MDA's mission since she was a little girl. What do I mean? Let me take you back just a few years.
Yeah, it's your turn. I just went.
Some people are like magnets.
Oh, happy day.
You're just drawn to them. That is most certainly the case for 11-year-old Tilly McRoberts.
Hello, can you see me now?
On this day, she's just home from school.
I had gym, flyer time, math.
And no one is more excited to be back in class.
Instead of it being one class, they actually put 3 elementary schools to combine, so there's more kids to talk to.
Tilly has started middle school after a summer of travel. There was camping and there was the beach, but the beach is something she'd prefer to skip next time.
I was sitting on the beach and the wave knocked me out.
Oh no.
Well, it didn't knock me out, they just
knocked you over?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
So I don't like the beach.
You don't like the beach anymore?
Nope.
As she explained to me, while other kids could run from the waves, that's not really an option for her.
I'm in a wheelchair because I have a disability called SMA, short for spinal muscular atrophy.
SMA most affects babies and children and makes it hard for them to use their muscles. Just breathing and coughing can sometimes be difficult, which means for Tilly's family, the COVID-19 pandemic is even more frightening than it is for the rest of us.
Literally, as it hit, Tilly came down with the respiratory virus and was in Barnes for 12 days in the ICU, and obviously very nervous. It was COVID.
Fortunately, it wasn't COVID, and she recovered. Unfortunately, the pandemic has canceled the last 2 years of her favorite summertime activity, MDA camp.
It's a sleepaway camp where you get to be with people and make new friends that are just like you, and it's all inclusive for everybody, and it's just the best week of the summer. Oh, Mom, look, there's a baby one.
But Tilly's attitude has always been, when everything isn't the best, you still make the best of everything. And that includes living with SMA.
As much of a challenge it is, it's a challenge. It's not something that will define who Tilly is.
In other words, mind over muscles.
Look, it's Ruth Bader Ginsburg. One of my favorite things is learning about presidents. So I like social studies because we get to learn about the past.
And the past has her thinking about the future. She tells me after she becomes a lawyer to advocate for the disabled, she plans to run for president.
Trying to making life more inclusive for everybody.
Tilly is already making speeches as an ambassador for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, touting some of their new breakthrough drugs.
It helps because it helps make us stronger so we can do more things and become more inclusive. Alrighty.
If you plan to stop at nothing, then attitude is everything.
Okay. Mama.
Tilly McRoberts, a magnetic force of hope.
Good girl, Rory. Good girl. You're doing such a good job.
And Tilly has grown up since we did that story. What a great young lady she is. We're joined now by Tilly and her mom, Leslie. And, all right, the first few times I talked to you, you wanted to be a doctor, maybe a lawyer, but also the president. Yeah. Now you're a freshman in high school. Where do we stand on the future for Tilly McRoberts?
I want to be a lawyer when I grow up.
A lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, and now explain why you want to be a lawyer to everybody.
I think because I like doing activism, and that's sort of a career I can go to where I can be an activist for people.
And you've been talking about inclusion since I've known you, since you were a little girl. So that's kind of what's on your mind.
Yeah, definitely making the world more inclusive for people in wheelchairs.
So, Leslie, we just want to know how she's doing.
I think Tilly's doing great. She's adjusted really well to high school. She's friends, a power soccer player. She keeps us busy. We get the pleasure of chauffeuring her around all the time. So, you know.
And tell me what MDA has meant to your family.
It's meant so much. For everyone who made a donation before Tilly had the benefit of receiving a drug, thank you. You know, that happened long before our daughter was even born.
Yeah.
And it's just given us so many ways that we can make a difference in this community.
Yeah. And Tilly, just one more question. If people are thinking about donating, but they haven't made up their mind yet, what would you tell them?
I'd say definitely donate. It's a great organization that helps people with muscular dystrophy, and it does a lot for kids that are born with a muscular dystrophy.
You keep up the good work, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful to see you, as always.
Thank you. Wonderful to see you, too.
Tilly and Leslie, thanks very much. Let's go to Renie.
All right, Mike. We're very proud to say that we have another team joining our team in the fight against muscular dystrophy. I'm talking about our St. Louis Cardinals. Now, you might remember earlier in the show we had that story about Rory. Well, he had an opportunity to go on the diamond at Busch Stadium. He met Fred Bird, and the two really hit it off. So, yes, the Cardinals are excited about joining us in our fight. The Cardinals and Cardinal Care. Cardinal Care spotlighted MDA during a game, and they donated $5,000 to tonight's cause. So we want to say thank you very much to Bill DeWitt and to the St. Louis Cardinals organization and the Cardinals Care for remembering the MDA and helping us in our fight. And because of them, we're now adding $5,000 more to our tote bar. So thank you very much to the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, out here live, I've got a couple of young guys who are making a big difference in our community. This is Archer and this is Edson, 9 years old, 6 years old brothers. All right, guys, tell me what you guys did for MDA.
We made a bake sale.
You made a bake sale? Here, lift the mic up a little higher. There you go. Tell me about your bake sale.
Okay, so we made a lot of muffins and brownies, some cookies and zucchini bread, and like brownie bites too.
Wow.
Yeah. Brownies, they are different. We raised.
Okay, so now you guys did all the baking?
No, our grandparents.
Oh, okay.
And we
well, it's still in the family.
Yeah.
So how much money did you guys raise?
We raised $317.
Wow, that's tremendous.
I know.
Now, why did you guys choose the MDA to help out?
Because we noticed that our grandparents showed it to us, and they said there was a disease with no cure, so we wanted to help whoever had it.
All right, guys, that's good. You want to add something, Edson?
Yes. We're making money for it because it's $3.2 million. $3.2 million.
Okay.
$3.2 million.
Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate the help. Even the little guys joining in to help fight, and that is a beautiful thing to see. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And get some of their cookies before the night is over with. Mike, back to you.
Thanks, Renie. Well, now to a little bit of a tough part of this telethon, remembering some of the people we've lost because of these terrible muscle diseases. If you've been with us before, you may remember the Hawn family, who've made it their mission to raise lots of money for MDA and make a difference. That mission started years ago, and this was the story I did back then.
What you got?
The strongest people in the world aren't the ones with the gym membership.
What's in your hand?
Though when it comes to adversity, the Hahn family has done more than their share of heavy lifting.
Ooh, show mommy. Ooh.
Their 3-year-old daughter, Charlotte, is a fighter.
I remember the day she was born, the nurses said, "Oh, this one's spunky. You can do it. You're a big girl."
Charlotte was born with something called cerebellar hypoplasia, which means the cerebellum in the back of her brain didn't completely develop.
Here, let's go see.
When we talk about our daughter walking, we're talking, maybe 20 steps, and then she falls or holds onto the couch, and that's a huge accomplishment for us.
She is so determined to just be everything she can be. She doesn't know she has any limitations.
All right, want to look at pictures of Ryan?
No one so small should have to go through so much.
Are you ready?
But her determination has given her a fighting chance.
Who's that?
Something her brother never had.
Oh, tell me what you see.
Ryan Hahn was born on a snowy day last January.
I remember the first time I really saw him after he was born. He just was so handsome. Everything just felt good. We knew Charlotte was doing well, and here he was, and he was healthy, and what more could we ask for?
What was it like the first time you held him?
A son,
When you have a baby, love is automatic. Health, however, is not.
We started noticing he breathed fast a lot, and we started noticing that he wasn't holding his head up well.
Those little things you start noticing and you question of, are we being overprotective because of how much we've been through?
But something was wrong, and at just 4 months old, doctors put a name to it. Ryan had spinal muscular atrophy.
We were devastated. I don't think there was any other way to put it, because we had so many hopes and dreams for him. This is a box a friend of ours gave us to keep some of Ryan's special things in.
SMA is a genetic disease that destroys muscles, and Ryan had the most severe form, type 1. Most patients don't make it to their first birthday. When the tears would no longer come,
his memory will be with us always.
Words would.
He was our son, a boy that we had so many dreams for.
Jennifer documented every cherished day with Ryan on her blog.
Daddy, thank you for your strength passed on to me each day.
And in a scrapbook.
You impact the lives of countless people.
She even wrote Ryan's letter to his dad on Father's Day.
I love you more than you will ever know, and it's because of you I fight. Do you think he would have been a lot like Charlotte?
Parents are supposed to plan their children's future.
Look at how short his hair is there.
They aren't supposed to plan to say goodbye. But on July 27th, on the evening of his 6-month birthday, Ryan passed away in his parents' arms.
I'm glad he's not suffering. I know this is the hard part for us, but this is the easy part for him.
But even though he's not with us now, I'm still so thankful for him, because he was one of the most special gifts I've ever been given. We had a picture like this taken.
There is no cure for SMA yet, but researchers with the Muscular Dystrophy Association say they're getting closer, and that's why the Hahns say they're getting involved.
It doesn't seem right. It seems like there should be something we can do to stop it. You ready to walk? Let's do some walking.
So much like their daughter Charlotte, they refuse to give up. With their unshakable faith, they'll continue to work for a cure because they know that would be Ryan's hope.
That would be amazing.
And we're joined now by this group called the Flying Pigs, which is Emily and Olivia, but the Hahn family as well. And when you watch that story, we're kind of talking off camera how things have changed. So many things have changed.
Yes, the Flying Pigs have really evolved over the last 15 years.
First of all, tell everybody what the Flying Pigs are.
They're
not going to know what that means.
We are the Flying Pigs Foundation. We were born from the idea that we wanted to contribute to raising awareness and funds to help families that suffer from neuromuscular diseases. And so the Flying Pigs, we became a foundation in 2018, have been working really hard year after year since
since 2009 when we first started with the MDA to really bring that to fruition, and have grown and, in bringing this family along with us too, and with their struggles too.
And it's a way to honor Ryan as well.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
We were there last winter at Night at the Races,
Yeah.
which is a great night. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah, so Night at the Races, we're coming up on 8 years, going to be in this February, and we really get a room full of about 300 people there just raising money for the MDA, and it's really a wonderful event.
Everybody has such a good time, and you put Charlotte and Grant to work, don't you?
Absolutely. Yes, we do. Grant's almost our full-time photographer now.
Yeah.
So.
And Olivia did a little work there, as I saw. So tell me about your journey right now. I just understand you got a new job.
I did. I got a new job, and so I started 2 weeks ago, and I'm loving it.
That's fantastic. Well, you guys, this journey that you've been on, you guys have turned a very difficult situation into hope for so many others. Can you just say something about the people out there who make the phone calls, who make the donations, and what it means to you?
The money really does make a difference, and it makes a difference for families in this community. I was sitting next to Kenzie's mother, Sydney, and able to talk with her just about the progress and how wonderful she's doing, and that really brings a really warm spot to my heart to see that their story is different than ours. Kenzie's starting kindergarten, and just even reflecting on how far she's come in the last year, the therapies that she's benefiting from, the support from the MDA, it's just remarkable.
And you guys raised a bunch of money. Emily has got a big check. Look at this, $20,000. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. It's always wonderful to see you. A reminder that this hour of the Telethon is sponsored by Weber Chevrolet and the Weber family of dealerships. Our thanks to the Weber family of dealerships. And a shout out to anyone watching the show from home. Thank you for your part in spending the Labor Day weekend with us. And we have a special guest in the house. Let's send it over to Ann.
Speaking of the Weber family of dealerships, we have Skip Weber with us right now. Skip, you got involved years ago. You're here every year at Grants Farm with us, and you got involved because you went to MDA camp, which we've talked about a little bit. And I've been to camp, but explain to people why when you go to camp, it changes everything.
So you see some young kids that have a lot of challenges, and you can tell their life is not easy. And first of all, they're all wonderfully happy. You just get humbled by the fact that with what we consider challenges, and we get all frustrated and angry. What they're happy and positive and outgoing, but then they get a week where it's a bunch of people with the same challenges, but when they're swimming and horseback riding and arts and crafts, the challenges aren't there. I mean, when you see all these folks who have a hard time moving around, but they're in the pool water where and just with huge smiles on their faces, and it also gives their families a break, because caring for them is not the easiest thing. So they're away, and every camper has like one worker there per camper, so it's very safe, very good and fun enjoyment, not hardship at all. And so it's just such a wonderful thing, and you can see how great this is in their lives. They look forward to it. They talk about it for years afterwards. I mean, I still, we've started doing this, I think 12 or 13 years, and you see some of these kids grow up, and they're impressive young men and women. They have careers, and they're doing great, and they still talk about their times at camp over and over every year. So it's a great thing.
It is, and camp is incredible. They all are in bunks, and they have dances. And speaking of St. Louis, all the money stays here for things like camp, and you have something to present to the MDA via me today.
I do. We have a check for $5,000 for the MDA, and it's a small thing. It's a drop in the bucket, but I think it'll help send a couple kids to camp, and we're really glad to do it.
We are so grateful for it. It is not a drop in the bucket. Thank you so much to you, Skip, for always being such a staunch supporter. We really appreciate you, and all of your support. And this hour is, of course, funded and sponsored by you. So thank you so much.
Glad to do it.
Let's get back to Mike.
And Skip, thank you so much. All right, we're getting close to running out of time, so let's check the latest tote. Let's see those numbers. Whoa! $109,305. That is a big number. Thank you so much. We still have some time, so please continue to call 314-425-5355 or text that number and then the word donate. Let's go to Renie.
Hey, Mike, as you well know, it has been a collective effort to bring that tote as high as it is right now. And all these folks here on the Star Wall had so much to do with that. I'm talking about our gold stars. That's our $500 and plus. Our silver stars, that's our $250 donors. And then we have our blue stars. Those are our $100 donors, like Tammy right here. And the reason why everybody on this wall is so important is because all of this money comes together and it makes a huge impact. A $100 check coupled with that one and that one and that one and so forth and so on adds up, everybody. So a huge thank you to all the folks who joined my galaxy tonight here at Grants Farm, to all the folks who decided that I want to give and I want to make a difference. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go back to the 5 On Your Side studios now to Scott Connell. Scott?
Hey, Renie, we're coming up on 15 minutes left here. The clock is ticking down. So, time is of the essence. We need you to get on that phone or get online right now. One of the things that you've seen is from bake sales to running a 5K, you can fundraise your way to help kids and adults living with muscular dystrophy. You can create a group event like a scavenger hunt or a bowling party, turn it into a fundraiser, or when you have a special occasion, you can ask for donations for your birthday or graduation or just honor a loved one and collect donations in their name for MDA. Now, we know that you as St. Louisans always have great ideas on ways to do things. So you'll come up with your own ideas. And next year, we'd love to see you out at Grants Farm presenting a big check on our telethon. Once again, you can always quickly donate this evening, ksdk.com/donate, or text the word donate to 314-425-5355. Mike?
Scott, thanks very much. And you mentioned Grants Farm. We've been coming out here for years and years and years. We used to do 19 and a half hours. I'm facing the carriage house, and we used to be in the carriage house, and it was just a tremendous, tremendous time. And we raised a lot of money, and the people at Grants Farm through all these years have been part of this mission, and we couldn't ask for a better partner. And joining me now is the GM of Grants Farm, Steve Bird. And I know when we ask you guys to get involved in this, you just never hesitate. Can you talk about Grants Farm's mission and why you guys always say yes?
Thanks, Mike. Well, first of all, we're really thankful that we get to be included in this every year. It means a whole lot to us and the Bush family. But really, Grants Farm's been an icon in St. Louis for 70 years, and service and hospitality are our cornerstones. And partnering on an event like this with you and with MDA allows us to do what we do best, and we can come together and have an even greater impact together. And
last year we were here, Grants Farm was closed at night, but now we had a big, huge crowd here today, and they got to enjoy a beautiful drone show. So tell people about the drone show that people can see.
The drone show, this was the last of our drone shows this summer.
But next summer.
It was awesome. Yeah. So it's 250 drones that fly up above, and it's a custom show to the farm. So, I mean, people really dig it. It's a really fun show, and it's very unique.
Anything new coming up at Grants Farm that you want to tell people about?
Yeah. So coming up next week, Oktoberfest. So 2 weeks of Oktoberfest starting Friday night. So we're ready for fall. After that, it's all about Fall Fest and Halloween nights. So
that sounds good. Steve, as always, thanks to you, but all the people at Grants Farm. We couldn't ask for better partners, like I said.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate it. That's Steve Bird, General Manager. Labor Day weekend, always a great time at Grants Farm. Let's go to Renie.
Hey, Mike. First of all, thank you so much for having me once again to be a part of this telethon. It really is a moment that makes you feel great because you're able to make a difference for someone you may not ever meet, but someone who's going to have an impact on our world. And so to all the folks here on our Star Wall, once again, thank you so much. I want to say thank you to William down here with a gold star. I've got Robert with a blue star. Looks like that's Teresa with a blue star. I've got Ed and Alice with blue stars. Virginia, Teresa, Gary. Oh, I can't quite read that. I think it's Cynthia. I just want to say thank you to each and every single one of you because you heard us get started at 8 o'clock and you picked up the phone and you made a difference. You made a donation. But we can keep it going. It doesn't have to stop just because the clock's about to reach 10. I need you guys to keep it going on because this disease needs to be stopped. We need to make sure we can make the medical advances with the meds as well to help us out. So do what you can. Be a star tonight. Thank you to everybody who donated. Let's toss things back over to you, Mike.
Renie, thanks. Well, not too long ago, photojournalist Tom Stasiak and I drove out to Truesdale, Missouri to spend a little time with the Hayes family. Brandon Hayes is so very proud of his brother Jordan, who lived every day to the fullest despite having Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Making a difference for others has now become the Hayes mantra, and this is their story.
We are in Truesdale, Missouri. This is our corporate headquarters for Hayes Food Systems. Right now we're at 15 employees, and what we do is we are the area developers for Chester's Fried Chicken. So anyone you would see in our 5-state territory that wants to do our fried chicken program has to go through us, and we sell them and service them. So Jordan was always an outgoing kid. He was a fun kid to be around. He was very affectionate with everybody. And even through his later stages in life, he was always about his family. He was always wanted to make sure mom was okay, make sure dad was okay, his brothers, his family was okay. So he was diagnosed at age 8 with Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. Jordan, even up till 8, 9, 10 years old, yeah, he would stumble, he would be a little clumsy, but he was still active. Up until about when he started becoming 20, 21 years old is when it was really starting to, you could really see their hard effects on it. I felt terrible because there was literally nothing we could do. And that's when we really my younger brother Matt and I finally came to the conclusion, like, we've got to do something. Like, we can't sit around and do nothing. Rain will fall, but tears will dry. So about 13 and a half years ago, we created the Jordan Hayes Foundation to help raise funds for muscular dystrophy. Our goal was not to just raise funds for the kids going to camp and to the families, but to help create awareness. I'm gonna wake up right here where you are. So our golf tournament this year, we've been using Bogey Hills Country Club as our host golf course for the last 12 years. They're phenomenal. We know them very, very well, close personal connections there. We've been members there since the 80s. We usually raise right around $50,000 at the event, and all the money, which is still nice, is able to stay here in St. Louis at St. Louis MDA to help with research. Rain will fall, but tears will dry. A lot of people asked us after Jordan passed away, are you going to continue the foundation? Are you going to try and move away from it? And Jordan's still with us in spirit. We think about him every single day, and my family and I love being able to help. Yeah, it'd be great if Jordan was still here with us, but in the same token, there are other families out there just like us. We were very blessed. My parents had a successful business. We were able to give Jordan whatever he needed to help him out, get through this, and just have a fun life as a kid. And there are a lot of other families out there that aren't like that. It's a struggle for them, and we get it. So we want to continue to be able to help other families and keep, still to this day, the awareness I don't think is out there like it is with other diseases. We want to be one of those forefront diseases that everyone knows about, everyone's aware about, and there is help for anyone who needs it. I'm missing you.
And we're joined live by another one of my favorite people, Brandon Hayes. And Brandon, let's talk about, because people didn't get to know Jordan very much. Talk a little bit more about him and what kind of person he was.
Jordan was a super fun-loving kid. He was the kind of kid that you got when you were down, you went around him, he gave you a big smile, and he was one of those kids who just always saw the positives in everything. He didn't let his disabilities govern him. He lived his life the way he wanted to live it, and he was always a joy to be around.
And when he passed away, you could have made the decision, okay, let's just move on, but you were determined to keep his spirit alive and to give back to the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Yeah, so that was a big kind of a topic with my other brother Matt and I when we, got with Jordan and said we want to create this foundation, and it wasn't just about donating funds and raising money, which is what we're here trying to do, but it was also to try to help create awareness for families that are going through situations like this that, money can't always help the situation, but if you can create awareness and help them through other means and ways to get through the situation, you can help them out.
And there's a golf tournament every year. Tell me about that.
So this year was our 15th year for our foundation and our golf tournament, and it was huge success. We had a couple pretty big highlights this year with our golf tournament, which is always fun, and it helps us raise a lot of money for muscular dystrophy.
And that's why we have you here, because I know you have something very special for all of us and for all our viewers.
So I have a couple things that are really special. So one, this year we are donating $80,000.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
We're donating $80,750 towards muscular dystrophy.
Oh my God.
And one of the greatest parts about this is we hit a huge milestone this year. So this year, with this check, our cumulative funds raised towards muscular dystrophy is over $1 million in 15 years. And it's not just because of my family, it's because of all of our volunteers and the people that come out every single year. And we've had a close personal friend of ours who's donated a lot of money to our foundation every year. But it's also, and I'm going to go a little off script here, it's also for people like you. So I wanted to give you this.
Oh.
This is a certificate of appreciation towards Mike Bush for all the things that you do, not just for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, but for the Jordan Hayes Foundation too, because without you, we don't get $2 million and we don't get to raise the funds that we do. So thank you very, very much.
You guys are doing the money working, and we sure do appreciate it. Thanks to everybody with the Hayes family and everybody who participated in all the golf tournament and everything else.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you, Mike.
All right, you may like this. Let's take a look at the final tote. Oh my goodness. $206,585. Come on in, guys. Come on in. We got Ann and Renie coming.
Yeah, we'll put Ann over here.
Yeah, let's put Ann in the middle.
Here.
So there you have it. We have so many people to thank. First of all, to our general manager, Alicia Elsner, whose support of MDA is unwavering. To all the folks at MDA, Michelle and Sandra and Therese and Dana, we are thinking of you. We're thinking of Therese, who's going through cancer treatment right now. To all the folks at Grants Farm, who are always so generous, and to our amazing crew, Jeff Bailey and Randy Schwenkner and Tom Stasiak and Sam Belk and John Jordan, Jeff Bailey, Jeff Watkins, Bobby Gardner, Jimmy Kruko, Andrea Firestone, Susie Herman, Ashley Brandmeier, and I'm missing some people, and I'm sorry. Thank you all. Jacob, thank you so much. And back in the control room, thank you to all the folks back there, Sonia and Sheila and Eric and Jacob Kurth. To all my amazing co-hosts who always step up when I ask. None of this is possible. Sorry. None of this is possible without all these people and their generosity putting this together. Please continue to donate. Give what you can. We leave you tonight with the voice of Chris Mann. Thank you very much.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of